Bruins win 3-2 against the at home against the Philadelphia Flyers. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I am your host, Jay Freeman, and this was a sentimental game for both parties involved. First of all, for the Bruins, involved the return. You want to talk about Return of the Mac? No, this is Return of the Rask. Return of the Rask. Return of the Rask. It is way too late in the day to start singing. God damn, I am not good at it either. But I also have to. But also, this was the first time since the death of former Bruin Jimmy Hayes that the Bruins hosted the Philadelphia Flyers, who currently have Jimmy's brother Kevin on their roster. And Kevin Hayes is made sure to show appreciation to the Boston Bruins for how they've treated the legacy of his late brother Jimmy. And all I can say is my heart goes out to the Hayes family. It is always a tragedy when one of your family members dies, especially someone that young. But there's not really much I can really do, not just as an outsider, but like Jimmy's dead, and unfortunately, there's no way to get him back. I'm sorry, but there's not really much else to do but move on. And I also have to correct something about last night's game against Montreal. Well, in it, I was making a big deal about Earl Vakanainen and scoring his first goal at the NHL level. That it turns out that goal ended up getting credited as Curtis Lazar's goal because Lazar, I guess, tipped it, and that was what made it in, and so Lazar ended up, and so Lazar, as the last person to touch that puck, ended up getting credited for the goal. Lame. Also, due to unforeseen circumstances of John Moore being injured and is currently being day to day, and Grizzly being on the freaking COVID list, the Bruins had to dig a little bit down to for their third pairing of defensemen, and so please welcome back to the NHL, Jack Ashawn and Tyler Lewington. Who? Hold on. Let me look this guy up. Oh, Pasta's already scored a goal. Well, I barely knew who Tyler Lewington was before Pasta scored on the before Pasta scored. The puck took a bit of a funny bounce off the boards. Then Hall dished it right to Pasta, who was right in front of the net. Like usually Pasta gets goals from either side of the goal on the face at the face-off circles. That's just where he is. Like Foligno or Marchand, they are always at the net shoulder. Pasta, he's always at the face-off circles. It's just where it's his personal Gretzky's office, I guess. So to see him score a goal from outside of there is just a little bit weird, but it's always welcome. Bruins are up 1-0 in less than 2 minutes into the game, and less than 4 minutes later, the dude does it again, and everybody is surrounding Marchand. Here's the goal. Here's the blue line, and Carter Hart is here. Everybody is surrounding Marchand and in like a little bit of an arc. Pasta's just off here doing his own thing, and Marchand passes it right to him, and right to Pasta, and everybody knows that you do not leave David Pastrnak undefended. I know a lot of people like to point and laugh at that one time. I know a lot of people like to point and laugh at that one time in the playoffs last year where Pasta had all the time in the world with one of the easiest opportunities he had at a goal, and he just doinks it off the far post, and yes, that goal still, and yes, that shot still causes me nightmares. Thank you very much for asking, person in the comments that I just made up, because nobody freaking watches these things, but I keep making them. I don't know why, but because I want to. But Pasta's is there, and he connects, and Katahat can't get back over, and the Bruins were playing so well at the first in the first half of the game that they don't even allow a single shot on goal for the first 10 minutes. Actually no, for the first 9 minutes, because it was in the 10th minute that Philly finally got their first. It was in the 9th minute that Philly finally got their first shot on goal of the game. But eventually, there was like this really big scuffle that turned into a 4-on-3 for Philly. We got a lot of those. Just is, how did this turn into like, even though it was at TD Garden, it felt like they were a bit. There were quite a few calls for the against the Bruins. They were like, I don't know, but I guess I'm also just a Bruins fan, so fuck me. What do I know about reffing? And we get to the second period. I didn't see the first 5 minutes of the second period because I was listening to it while I was running errands with my dad. I'm sorry, but sometimes I need to. But sometimes my listening experience involves my Bruins experience involves 98.5 the Sports Hub. I wish it wasn't the case, but sometimes it has to be. Thank God Mike Felger and Tony Maserati aren't the ones calling the Bruins games, because they would be pissed at everything. But Tyler Lewington, I didn't know who the hell he was before the game started, but now you know that he is that he wants blood. He apparently he beat the crap out of Zach McEwen, and throughout the entire game, it felt like both teams were just insanely chippy with each other. They were pushing and pulling and shoving and fighting, and it was and it just had the perfect setup for it all to go 18 for it all to go to 18 plus. I don't fucking know, but eventually Cam Atkinson ends up getting a nice deflection off of an Ivan Provorov snipe from the circle to make it 2-1, and then Joel Farabee ties it up by passing it to and from Atkinson, and because what the hell is defense? And I'd seen an ESPN graphic, because that's literally all you can see with the ESPN broadcast. Good lord, it felt like a good 30% of the game the camera was shooting up from the freaking nosebleeds, like the 300 section. And congratulations, you made hockey unviewable. Well, like what is wrong with just ice, with nearly ice level, with freaking camera work from like nearly ice level. It's not like with what Nesson does. What's wrong with that? You don't need to do it from like the top of Zdeno Jar, from like the top of Chara's head, but I had seen a graphic that said that the Bruins were ranked 6th in the entire NHL in defense. I want to know based on what metric, because it feels constantly like the Bruins are playing with the 26th worst best defense in the league. And sure, Carlo doesn't really help, but also it's just Bruins end up drawing a penalty, and Pasta ends up getting hooked by Willman so hard that Willman's stick ends up getting kind of caught in Pasta's body. So that allows on 5-on-3, and Pasta scores his hat trick on that 5-on-3. And might I just say that Brad Marchand and David Pastrnak since New Year's have combined for 8 goals, have combined for 16 goals, 8 each, and Pasta's had 7 in the last 4 games, and both players have had the players have combined for back-to-back hat tricks for hat tricks in back-to-back games. These two are just insane, and Pasta just constantly feels like Pasta feels at times like he's the modern day Phil Kessel, where he's like he's an offense first player, but doesn't have like the best. He's not the best at a two-way game. He's not gonna win it. He's not gonna win the Selke anytime soon. He don't got those Selke mitts. And I know, but it's just incredible how both of these players have done so well in the past few games. And I know giving them both, and I know giving Pasta some credit for this maybe a little bit undercut by the fact that Philly has allowed on a hat trick in 3 of their last 4 games. I want to know how the hell you guys did that. How did you get that inept? Freaking Travis Konechny hasn't scored a goal in the past 19 games. How is this team just this bad? And also, just how did the Bruins just run out of gas so badly that that they almost blew it? I didn't really take many notes in the third period because the Bruins didn't really give me much to work with. They didn't do anything in the third period except for that time where Carlo and Coyle both got delay of game penalties. Is in less than a minute span. We took 2 completely unnecessary penalties, and gifted them a 5-on-3 for no reason. Thankfully, we were able to stop it, but it was still just stupid. But also, I can't tell. But also, I feel like this might also. I feel like the reason why the Bruins also might have fizzled out is because there is no goalie in the league that is more rubber band AI than Carter Hart. The dude constantly goes from like how is this dude not won the Vezina to how is this dude the number 1 goalie on this team? There's no reason. There is no method to the madness at all. Well, just just 3 minutes, just 10 minutes. It looks like the dude should be the headlining feature in the next Dang It's video. Well, 10 minutes later, the dude is flying out of the crease to make the biggest freaking saves. Like, here I come to save the day. And but I don't hate Carter Hart. It's just how does this man exist? How does this man not want to just lie down and just rethink everything after every single game? Like, how am I this insane? But the Flyers eventually pull him for the whole, we're losing. We gotta pull the goalie to give ourselves an empty net, to give ourselves an extra attacker. Neither team can capitalize. Is Marchand with like 5 seconds left takes a straight puck and almost puts one in, but I think it was Ivan Provorov. It was either Provorov or Sanheim that was right on his tail, and as he's shifting his body to take the puck and corral it into the net, he just gets blasted into the net as the clock hits zeros, and it was one of the funniest ends to any game. Like, how did this happen? How did you let this happen? But I don't know. This game did not feel like this game didn't really feel like the Bruins games over the past few days. But it also felt like we could have. It felt like we were toying with our prey for a good chunk of the game, and it's just not what we needed to do. And especially not with Tuukka back in the line, especially not with Tuukka back between the pipes. Like, yeah, a win is a win, but I would have loved for it to be in a more like convincing fashion. Like we've put up like 14 like 18 goals over the past 4 games or something like that. Actually, I think it's 20. We've had 2 5-goal games, a 7-goal game, and a 3-goal game. So yeah, 20 goals of the past 4 games, and this was the one that felt. And 12 of those came against 2 of the best teams in the league right now. The 5 came against the Lightning. 7 came against the freaking Capitals. But this against a battered, against a completely battered Philadelphia team felt like the cracks were beginning to show. And I hope that who do we have next? I think we have give me 1 second. I'm sorry that I am doing this in the middle of a video. But the Bruins' next game is against the Predators, and they're a team that's like, I think, at the top of their and they're a team at the top of their division, and they got 50 points. They're doing better than the Avalanche, and they just went. They're doing better than the Avalanche, and they just came back from a 4-1, and they just came back from a 4-1 deficit against the Leafs. The Bruins need to step it up or else this next game is going to be disaster. But that is it for tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like, click subscribe if you really like. Link down below is still the GoFundMe for to help out Jake Tebow and help a kid who was tragically injured in a hockey accident. And you can all tell your friends that if you're gonna beat a team that's really bad, at least make it convincing.